Hello everyone. Let's put on this. We're gonna use some earphones today. Let's see if everybody can hear me. Can everyone hear me? Not seeing any. So, hi Janine. Can you hear me? I'm using the microphone and the earphones today. Hi Nicole, nice to see you too. Thank you. Hope everyone's enjoying their Sunday. I went for a nice walk this morning, so I got a little fresh air this morning in nature. That was amazing. It was amazing. Hi, Lenore. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. So we're just going to give it a few minutes and see, because today we have what we call in Germany, Pfingsten. It's of course, it's a spirit, it's a religious holiday, so a lot of people are most likely with their families. Oh, did you enjoy your roast, Janine? We actually had a slice of pizza tonight. I didn't feel like cooking, and then actually we ordered the wrong pizza because we wanted to order the pizza using the Italian name of the pizza, and they gave us what we asked for, and it was the wrong one. But we ate it anyway. Always order by number, never by name. We learned this today. I'm just going to give it maybe one more minute, and then I'm going to start, because I don't want to hold everyone up. I know it's Sunday and everybody wants to spend time with their family or by themselves or with their pets. So we don't want to hold everyone up, and want everyone to enjoy their Sunday afternoon or evening. Okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and start. So, as promised, thank you for sharing, Janine. Thank you very much. And I want to give a strong shout out to Janine, which most of us already know her. She's an excellent, amazing trance medium. And if you get a chance, find her on Facebook and maybe join one of her groups. And you can watch her amazing work with trance. And she also teaches trance also, and I know that she has a couple of courses coming up in the future, I think the next couple of weeks. So if you're interested in beginner's trance and learning how to connect with your guides, look her up on Facebook. She's wonderful. So I'm going to start. I thank you all for coming. And so today, you're welcome, Janine. I just want to go over some basic crystals. These are just crystals that you can have. Well, I call them bagel. Yeah. I consider my crystals as my co-workers. They are my staff. They are my co-workers. They are my work colleagues. They work with me, and they work with me to help and heal other people as well. So I am a healer, but today I'm going to share my knowledge throughout the years of working with crystals. And I feel like crystals for me, they're like celestial beings. They are from Earth. They are from the Earth's ground. And so it doesn't matter what religion you're in, what belief you're in. I believe that everybody has touched a crystal. If you drink out of crystal glasses, then you're using crystals. If you have a crystal vase at home, then you have crystals. So we're just going to keep it very basic. When we're working with crystals, I think what the most important thing is to be able to join in and blend with your crystal, with your energies of your crystals. Of course, you can go on to YouTube, or you can go on to Google and Google how the crystal might benefit you. But it's always up to you and the crystal at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. So you can have one crystal, and maybe you'll see in Google that the description will tell you that this crystal does this. Well, if you blend with the crystal, it can also bring in other attributes to your healing. And I'm speaking today of healing for yourself. And if you are a healer in the public, then you can also use these crystals also and apply these techniques if you don't have your own techniques. So one of the crystals that I really, really love to use, and one that is usually in our bedroom, is Golden Healer. Golden Healer is usually, it's a very high vibrational crystal, and it is also considered a master healer. And you don't have to have one this big. You can have even a tiny one. But I'm just going to show you some of my Golden Healers. This is a Golden Healer that I have here. This is a Golden Healer that came from Brazil. Of course, this also came from Brazil. And then I have a smaller one that came from Brazil. Now I'm going to explain to you why I use towers. If you know someone that sells towers at the crystal shops, it's always good to get a tower. If you understand physics or you don't understand physics, it doesn't matter. When you use a tower of a crystal, the energy is always directed upwards to the point. So if you were to take this crystal, I'm just going to show you something real fast. Let's just take one of my tuning forks, which I'm going to talk about on the last week. This is a tuning fork, of course. This also carries vibrations. If you use a tuning fork, this is usually the 128. 128 is C. It's the Flower of Life crystal. You can take this tuning fork, and what you will do is you will direct the vibrations into the crystal. It will amplify the crystal, and it will bring all the frequencies and the vibrations to the end of the crystal. And with this right here, you can take this crystal, use your tuning fork, and use it on certain parts of your body. And you will put the vibrations inside of your body. Now, you can use this crystal. It's very good to use this crystal in your bedroom. So you can put it somewhere. We have ours near a window. That's where I keep the crystal. So when the sun comes in the morning time, it radiates throughout the room. Now I'm going to talk about some of the basic ways of how to connect with your crystal. The way I connect with my crystal, so I can only speak for myself because other people might have different ways of how they connect with their crystals. When I connect with my crystal, I will first cleanse the crystal. I will cleanse the crystal with my own feelings, my own emotions. I will take this crystal when I receive it. Some people will take the crystal and they will run water over it or they'll put it in salt, but I don't. I might wipe it off because if it's been traveling in a package, I don't know who's had the crystal and who's put their hands. So it's just for health reasons. I think I would wash it off if I'm able to wash it off with water, but I won't put it in any salt because some crystals is affected by salt. I would take the crystal, I will just hold it in my hand, and I will say a prayer. What I will do is I will say a prayer to the crystal. I will ask the crystal to release any and all energies that it has collected along the way when it came to me in the package. And then I will ask the crystal to show me what it's here for. Because you know that when we purchase crystals or we're attracted to a certain crystal, we're attracted to that certain crystal for some reason. And usually what I say is that crystal is calling you out, is calling out your name. And I will sit with that crystal and meditate and blend with the energies of that crystal for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you're highly clairvoyant, the crystal will also show you pictures. You might hear sounds, you might hear words, or you would just start to feel energy with the crystal. So this is the best way to clear a crystal and ask the crystal what it wants. Now, when I first get a crystal, if it's not too big, I will take the crystal with me around the whole day. So I have here a small fluorite crystal. I have a green fluorite crystal here. So I would take this crystal around with me all day. I will either have it in my pocket or I will have it in my purse. And this crystal will go with me and travel with me around. For me, my crystals go with me if I get a new crystal for at least 3 days. That's only my opinion of how I handle my crystals, but other people might have other ways. I will take this crystal with me for 3 days around. That means this crystal will sleep with me in the bed. This crystal will be with me when I'm eating. I know it sounds a little extreme. In my pocket the whole time. And when I go to bed at night, I usually put it under my pillow or beside my bed or in the window, but near me, because this crystal, what it's doing is it's starting to blend. I froze. Did I freeze? Am I still frozen? Can everyone see me? Am I frozen? Okay, not phrasing. Am I still good? Okay, great. So I would take this crystal with me. It might sound a little extreme or perverted, taking around a crystal with me everywhere I go, but I take this crystal. So this crystal, what the crystal does, it blends with my energies, with all of my energies is what this crystal would do. I will use it for about 3 days. I don't put it in the bathtub because, again, like I say, some crystals, you can't really put water on them. So after 3 days, this crystal is now connected to my vibrations, to my body's frequencies, to my biofield. And this crystal now is a part of my energy. So I can use this crystal and I can lay it on any part of my body that I want to. It doesn't have to specifically be a certain part of my body because of the color of the crystal or what the size of it is. I can lay it on my body, and this crystal is going to give me the healing that it needs to give me. And that's how I use the crystals. So it's a good thing, like I'm going to say again, if you get any type of crystals with points, even this really tiny little smoke quartz here is a crystal that you can use. Now, if you don't want to apply and use a tuning fork with the crystal, you can just take the crystal and you can just blend with it. Like I said, blend with it for 2 or 3 days. This crystal becomes a part of you, a part of your energy. And you can take this crystal and do amazing healing with yourself. And these crystals will talk to you. They will talk to you. You can actually hold the crystal just sitting down on your chair and ask the crystal, what do you want me to know? What do I need to know? So that's always good with the crystals. If you're doing healing, okay, another one that's really, I like really, is aura quartz. Aura quartz crystal. This crystal right here is really good for your aura. Because for me, you can't close the auras. You can't open the auras. They're energy centers. They're always going to be moving around and spinning. If I use a crystal like this is usually in my living room or in my dining room. We have crystals all over, but usually crystals like this, I usually have out. Let's say if a guest come over, they'll be attracted to this crystal. And they will, hi Karen, and they will take the crystal, and they usually hold it the entire time that they're at our house. So this is a beautiful crystal. It doesn't have to be this big. It can be a really tiny one, but just get used to connecting with the crystal. So if you are into spiritual work, I would say spiritual work. We're talking about connecting with the spirit world or connecting with the spirit world for healing. It means that you are healing and using those crystals for healing, but you're also using your angels, you're using your spirit guides, you're using your spirit team or whatever you want to call them, or the heavens or the angels. Spirit quartz. Spirit quartz is a very beautiful crystal to use. They also call it cactus quartz. It's a little sticky. I don't usually put this in the bed with me when I first get one. I put it beside the bed because it is really pricky. And I did this one time. I put one under my pillow. Actually, I put this one under my pillow right here. And somehow it ended up on top of my pillow. and it stuck to my face. And then when I woke up, I had little hole imprints on my face. So don't really want to maybe put this under your pillow. But if you use one like this, you can use one like this and just put it on your table, or you can hold it in your hand, and you can just hold it. This is a good one here, just to hold it, hold the crystal. And if you get one like this, that is a palm crystal, you can just hold it in the palm and just sit and meditate with it. And you can ask your spirit team or your angels to come. And most people have different opinions about, can we use crystals to connect? Well, it will raise your vibrations to the point, yes, your spirit team will connect with you. Someone's going to connect with you because you are going to see in clairvoyantly pictures and get information. I am a very much a quartz scepter person. I use a lot of quartz scepter crystals, and I use a lot of azurite. And I'm going to talk about these crystals mainly tonight because you don't need a big crystal to use. You don't have to buy anything expensive to use. Okay, first we're going to talk about amethyst. You don't have to have one this big. You can have one smaller than this. This one is in our bedroom. And we have one like this in our living room. And so I have like two very large ones in the living room. Usually I have it because most of my clients, when they come, they're sitting either in the living room or in the dining room when I'm giving a reading. So that's why I have the larger ones. It just brings out and gives that relaxed feeling in the house. Yeah, that's what it does. And I don't cleanse my crystals like most people do. Like I said, I cleanse them with my own vibrations. So I'm going to talk about one crystal that everyone is probably a little amazed about, and that is azurite, or you call it azurite crystal. And if you Google azurite, if you Google Edgar Cayce, you can read about his story when he was alive, and he talked about the azurite crystals, and I've been using them for many, many, many years. They're very powerful crystals. They're very powerful crystals. You can get where they're mixed with malachite, and you can wear them as bracelets, or you can wear them as a necklace on your neck. And then you have the specimens, what we call the specimens, which usually gives off a very powdery substance. Now, if you have animals at home, make sure that they are not anywhere near them because they are a little toxic. They can be toxic when they give off when they give off the powdery substance that comes from them, sometimes when they break. These crystals right here, you do not put them in water because it gives off a really sulfur smell, and it lets off toxic fumes in your environment. So you have to be careful. Now, I can take a crystal like this, a specimen like this, and I can hold it. Okay, after I use it, of course, I'll wash my hands, but I can hold it and meditate with this crystal, with this specimen here. I can put it in a piece of jewelry, and I can wear it. I have different ones and different pieces. And I can also use these if I'm sitting with a client and I'm laying them on their bodies. But I lay them on my own bodies when I'm laying down. I usually will use this specimen here on my solar plexus. I will put it on my solar plexus, and I will lay down, and I will just allow the azurite to lift up. Oh, Spirit just moved my crystal. Just lift my vibrations up. It will lift your vibrations up. Now, another thing I want to tell you about azurite is it will cause you to crash. If you are going through any type of emotional issues and you blend with this crystal and become very good friends with it, whatever is really deeply hidden inside of you, inside of your spirit, I would say, inside of your soul, it will crash you. It will crash you all the way down, and then it will bring you back up. It could happen within days. It could happen within weeks. It can happen within months. But it will. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I'm just sharing what I've known all these years. At 50 years old, I think I should come on and share some stuff now. Never know when I'm going to croak over, right? So, all jokes aside. Azurite will crash you. It will send you crashing. It will expose anything that you have emotionally unstable inside of you. And, yeah, I'm probably a bit unstable sometimes. We all are. I have no problem. Sometimes I actually like being unstable. It keeps you safe from the people. They kind of like stay away from you when they think you're crazy. Do not wear Azurite at night when you're in bed. It's usually a crystal or a specimen is also used in Africa. They use it also in Africa. I'm not sure about any other indigenous cultures. So you probably can Google or find out what's going on with the other cultures. Do not use it at nighttime in your bedroom. It will keep you awake. It could cause you to have lucid dreams. I mean, very lucid dreams. It's a very high vibrational crystal. This is not a crystal that you want to put in your bedroom. And this is not a crystal that you want to wear every day. Same, your vibrations will become so expanded that you will be walking around like a satellite, like a live antenna. You will pick up everybody's stuff. Cindy, I know I'm always trying to get rid of the jokes because I'm so funny. I want to laugh. I laugh at myself. You will walk around like a living antenna. You will walk around, like a living antenna. You will pick up on everybody's stuff. So some people might say, okay, the crystals, they won't help you with clairvoyance. They won't help you with psychic work. Well, they do. From my point of view, I've helped many people before and worked with them with Azurite, and their third eye is like way open. They're just seeing all kinds of stuff. They know about stuff that's going to happen before it even happened, minutes before it happens. So it is a crystal that is a very high, powerful crystal or specimen, and you don't want to use it unless you're doing spiritual work. And after you get used to it, after it, I would say, emotionally cleanse you from all of whatever is hidden inside of you that you were never exposed to, then you can use it. You can use it. But yeah, work with it very lightly because it's a very high vibrational crystal. It's a crystal like this. I have these pieces of Azurite. I have many pieces of Azurite, but I have them on the tray and it's closed. And even though it's closed, I can still walk by it at night and still feel the vibrations. But these are crystals. I keep my crystals that I use. I keep these high power crystals like in a closed case because I really don't want them out. Another crystal that you can use, or a specimen, I use a lot of scepters. Now you can get them, you can find them on Etsy. There are good people on Etsy. So a lot of people say, oh, don't use Etsy. Maybe they're some of them are crooks and criminals and stuff. But no, there are some really good people on Etsy, some really good people on Etsy. So you want to be able to support your communities also. Now we can use scepter crystals. And we use scepter crystals. You can use them to increase your psychic abilities. Believe me. If you are doing a soul reading for someone, or if you are giving a psychic reading for someone, or even a mediumship reading for someone, and you want to increase your vibrations and connect with that person, this tiny little scepter crystal, it's tiny. It's very tiny. You blend with it the same way. You take it and you hold it in your hand, and you ask the crystal to open up and show you what it needs to show you for the other person. Might work, might not work, but it works. It works for me. It works for the people that I've taught how to use crystals, and it works. And I can sit here and show you everything, but you have to do it for yourself because at the end of the day, it's your journey with the crystals. It's not mine. So crystal's going to maybe do something different with you. I don't know, but I'm only going to show you what I can do with the crystals. So this right here, you can put it on. You can put it, I sit and change with Azurite. Sometimes I think it's okay. Is this okay? Yes, Janine, for trance, girl, let me tell you. I know that when you wear your Azurite, you're beaming. It was just like last night when you did your event, and I could feel your energy pulling from my solar plexus. I almost went to sleep a couple of times. I kept telling myself, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep, don't go to sleep. And thank God that I'm not on live because I probably was snoring. There's a couple of times I did like doze off and I kept telling myself, don't go to sleep, but you pull so much energy. But yes, you can wear it in trance because it's noted as a ceremonial crystal or stone. You can wear it in trance. We can wear it in trance. You can also take it and put yourself in a heavier or a deeper trance just by taking the piece of azurite and holding it in your hand. Now, what I do when I sit down with a piece of azurite, I would take this crystal, you all can see, I would put it in my palm. I would take these two fingers, so I take this piece of azurite or any stone, rest it on these two fingers right here. It's the third one and the fourth one. And I will take my other hand and lay it under these two fingers. And that's all I do. And I lay my hands in my lap and I allow the crystal to take me up, take me deep. And just because the vibrations are coming out through the crystals, you will go deep. Either you will go up, you will go down, or you'll go around, or you'll go out. But azurite is very, very strong. And I wouldn't mix it with any other crystal. And I definitely wouldn't mix it with quartz crystal. Wouldn't mix it with quartz. And so we're going to move real fast to quartz, and then we're going to get back to scepter crystals. So if you have a quartz crystal, you can have different types of quartz crystals. Okay, I have this one right here. This is like a prism one. Prism. Yeah, prism. I think I said it right. And so I use this one right here if I'm working with someone that came over to my house, and maybe they're sad about something. So what they'll do is they will hold this crystal and they will go through the different levels and the steps, and they will talk their way from the bottom up, starting at the bottom, how the issue started, and then go up. And you can do this also with yourself with the crystals. You can take this quartz crystal with this prism in it. You don't have to have one like this. It doesn't have to have it inside, but you can take it. And what I'll do with the crystals, I'll meditate with the crystal, and I'll almost put my imagination and my thoughts in the crystal, and I'll just walk through the crystal. I fixate myself on one part of the crystal on the inside, and I stare into it and put myself into a trance. And that's what I do with crystals. Quartz crystals, any type of quartz crystals, does not belong in the bedroom. They are again like antennas. So if you have quartz crystal and maybe azurite in your bedroom, and you wake up in the middle of the night and see little green men running around, don't say I didn't warn you, because you would get a lot of activity. It's either spiritual activity you would get in your room, or you would get some activity from some outer beings. We've had some very strange things in the bedroom before, at the beginning, and I thought, okay, go away. And then a couple of years later, I said, okay, I'm gonna put the azurite back in the bedroom and the quartz in the window, and I'm gonna call in and see what's coming in. Now we had footsteps in the room the whole night, so no, those are crystals that we're not going to put in the bedroom. So we talk again about the golden quartz crystal. We talked about the aura quartz crystal. We talked about the spirit's quartz crystal. If you want to go in and you want to go in deep with your healing, your spiritual healing for yourself. So we're mainly talking about our spiritual healing today. We talked about the normal quartz crystals, and you can keep them in any room in the house, but I would not recommend them in the bedroom. We've talked about the azurite crystals, azurite crystals. You can wear them if you're in trance, and they will open you up, and they will probably keep you in trance for quite some time. They will take you down or take you up. And because of the energies of the azurite crystals, it opens you up. It really opens you up. And I think Janine has had many experiences using the azurite crystals before. And, she knows what they can do. I mean, total healing. I mean, total healing with azurite crystals. The other crystal that's good, I'm going to go now back to the scepter crystals. We have different types of scepter crystals. First, I was talking about the little tiny scepter crystals that I was talking about, the specimens. They're this tiny. But you can't imagine how powerful these things are if you just take it and hold it in your hand and connect with someone else or connect with yourself. You can take such a little tiny crystal here as a little itty bitty antenna. Again, you can hold it in your hand, you can hold it in one hand, or I like to always put my crystals inside my palm of my hand, inside my palm, between, if it's big enough, I'll put it between the two fingers. And you will be surprised at the information that you can pick up from the crystal. Now, if you are working with your psychic work and you're practicing with someone, and maybe you're worried, oh, maybe my vibrations aren't that high, or I can't connect, use the crystals. Use the crystals. Use whatever crystal is that you're drawn to, because they are beings and they are there to help us. So do not be afraid to say, oh, I'm not using a tool. Because if you think about it, we are tools. My eyes are tools. My tongue is a tool. My arms and hands are tools. They are tools that if I didn't have them, I'd probably be SOL right now. And I bless everyone that's, that has everything. But yeah, so everything on my body is really a tool. So I'm not afraid to use the tool for healing. And again, you can take a small crystal like this. And I always like to put crystals on the solar plexus. That's in the middle. Small crystal like this, you can put it even on your belly button. Or you can even lay it on your third eye if you're sleeping. But just make sure you don't roll over on it and it doesn't poke you in the eye when you turn over. You don't want to say, Ardelia told you to put on your crystal and you poke yourself in the eye. I don't want any lawsuits going on. But that's all. Just use it. You can use a tool. We are tools. Everything on our body is a tool for something. Everything on our body is a tool. Everything is a tool. Other than my nail tips. Well, they're tools too, because they're there for me to help myself feel good. And so if you use skeptic crystals, we have different ones. We have the clear ones you can use. And then you can use also the ones that have a little, that's also made, you can see, I probably have to post some pictures on my page of the crystals. This one right here is with amethyst right here. This is with amethyst. And we know amethyst is also for healing. Now, I would use a clear scepter. They don't cost that much at all. I would use this really for psychic work on myself or psychic work on someone else. I would even use this clairvoyantly. Even with the reading, with someone's reading, you can sit there and hold this and ask this crystal to open up your vibrations and raise your vibrations. And you will see stuff. You will see something. You will connect with that person. I call these the helper crystals. These are like part of the front service door staff. These are the ones that you meet when you first come to first walk into a company. They're the ones that's going to help and lead you and take you back to the manager's office and take you to the break room. These are the little helper crystals. Now, we use the skeptic crystals. You can use these the same. So you can also get the skeptic crystals if you want to. You can get 7. Even though I work with 12. Who's working if it doesn't work? Is something wrong with the video? Somebody says video works better if I don't type. Do I need to type something? No? Okay. You can take 7 of these small skeptic crystals. It doesn't matter what type of crystals that you get, skeptic crystals, and they don't cost a lot of money. This is for your own self-healing. If you want to get clear crystals and add it to it, what I would always do is I would take a clear scepter, and that's going to go on the top. That will go on the top. You don't have to put it, if you're laying down, you don't have to put it on your head. If you're sitting up, you can put it on your head. You can even put the crystal on your head and connect with the crystal, these skeptic crystals. Any crystal, if it's not that heavy, you can lay it on top of your crown chakra when you're standing up or when you're sitting down or laying down. If you're laying down, you can put it right here on your head. Now, if you want to put it on your head, of course, it's not going to stay connected to the crown chakra, but you can put it up here right next to your scalp area. And then the next one you will put down here, the third eye. And then the next one you will lay it right here on the throat chakra. And then one in the heart chakra, one on the solar plexus, one on the sacral area, and one on the root chakra. And you just lay there. You lay there. And you lay there and ask the crystals to raise your vibrations. You will feel energy through your body. It's almost like a zigzag. It's almost like it's going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You will sense it. You would also hear the the vibrations in your body laying down if you put the crystals on your body. Now, if you don't have 7 crystals for the chakras, just get 1 crystal. Like I say again, put it on the solar plexus. On the solar plexus. You put it on the solar plexus. That's where all the energy is. Of course, the dantian is down below the belly, because I do teach, I'm an instructor for Qigong, but the dantian is right below the belly button. But right here, the solar plexus area, that's where all the heat energy is. So when you lay the crystals on there, it's going to expand. It's going to expand out into your biofield. So you can use those. Now, if you're into the higher types of energy, I would call it, if you, for those, you don't really have to do yoga. I do hatha yoga, but that's about it. I've never been able to do any other type of yoga because I'm really not that flexible, but I'm flexible enough to do hatha yoga. I went one time to some other yoga. I think it was Kundalini yoga, yeah, and they were doing some stuff. I was like, nope, my body is not going to do this, and I'm leaving. Nice to know y'all. So what I use is the Kundalini quartz citrine. They don't cost that much. You can find them on eBay, and you can find them sometimes on Etsy. They're never going to be a wholesale crystal. You can find these right here on the line. These are Kundalini quartz. The internet will tell you that it's for money, wealth, if that's what you want to use it for. I do not use them for money and wealth. I use these actually to stimulate the Kundalini in my body. That's what I do. And again, I lay this crystal here on my solar plexus, or I will put this crystal here, right here when I'm laying down. Now, if I'm sitting up, I can either put it and use it in my hand, and this crystal will vibrate, or I will take it and I will put it on my head. Put it on my head and sit still. Of course, if you're going in the trance, you probably will move your head and it'll fall. So it's the best place to keep it in your hand. You can put it on one hand. The reason why I ask you, or I tell you to use your hand and you put both hands together, is because it's a circle. It's saying it's a circle. It's a circle of energy. Energy travels. It travels either up, down, out, but in a circle. So it creates like an electrical circuit when you have it in your hand, from one hand to the other hand. And it creates that electrical circle. So Kundalini crystals. Now, if you're working with someone, if you're healing with these crystals, I'm not into Reiki at all. I've never been interested because I've always just did my own healing. You can take these crystals here and you can work up the spinal column of the client that you're working with. You can work this. You can lay it on the spine at different areas and work up with this. And this crystal will activate this different chakras all the way up the body. If you have someone that's, I would say, very trustworthy of you to actually lay them on the spine, I do lay them on the spine, all the way up the spine. And I let these crystals do what they're supposed to do. I don't do anything. I lay there. I sit with the client, and I just let the crystals do what they need to do. And usually the clients are sleeping anyway after 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, then I'm able to use the crystals. Now, another nice crystal, if you can find one somewhere on the internet or on Etsy, sometimes there's some really good miners, people who go into and dig up the stones on the internet. This one's also from Zambia. This is there's no light shining on it, but this is a crystal. This is a skeptic crystal, and it has the violet flame. I have this posted on my Facebook, and I'll post it again on the page. This is the violet flame crystal. We know the violet flame was with Saint Germain, and I know that we have Sandy here. I know she works with a lot of angels, and I know other people do too. And so this crystal right here, if you take this crystal, like I say, blend with it for 3 days. So this crystal's been around with me. Sometimes it's dropped on the floor, but it didn't break. But it's been with me for 3 days, so it's connected to me. So now when I hold this crystal for a couple of minutes, it gets automatically hot. It's already speaking to me. Now, if I take this crystal and I wake up in the morning time after I do my prayer and meditation and lay this crystal right here on my forehead, it doesn't have to be between the third eye, just right here on my forehead, I will see the violet flames. The violet flames will come, and you will probably see pictures. You will see diagrams. You will see different figures that float in front of you. It's almost like, for me, it's almost like DMT. DMT. Yep. You get to see all kinds of stuff. You see spirals. You see all types of stuff. And you can actually do this with any crystal to connect with the third eye crystal. Because for me, the third eye is not really about seeing. It's about clear seeing. That means you're seeing clairvoyantly or using your psychic. And everybody can do this. So nobody is limited to use this. And of course, there are different types of scepter crystals that you can use. I use a lot of quartz scepter crystals because with amethyst, because it's very healing. The power in the quartz with the amethyst is very, very, very healing. Hi, Orly. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I don't want to get it wrong. Orly. It's a pretty name. Sounds like a star name or something. Orly. Yes. So this is what I do when I use the crystals like this. So I only can tell you how I have experienced using the crystals because, I can only tell you about my experience. I'm 50 years old and I started my journey when I was 15. And so I use crystals. You can also use crystals like this. Now, if you take a little small, even this little tiny little scepter right here, it's very tiny. It's a little tiny, but it's such a large antenna. And you can just take it and I can hold it in my hand. I can hold it in my hand or put it in a jewelry case or something, hold it in my hand, and it will vibrate in my hand after 3 days. If the crystals and stones aren't vibrating the first day, don't get discouraged. They have to connect to your energy. They have to be able to connect with your body frequencies to speak with you. You don't have to be an expert in crystals and anything because it's part of Earth and we came from Earth. And depends on how we want to have our beliefs. We came from Earth. We didn't come from Earth. I don't know, but I know when I croak over, I'm going down. So I'm going to go back to Earth. And I'm going to go back to the ground. Someone's going to put me in. Not sure who, but when I croak, someone's going to put me in. So I'm going to be back there with the crystals. This one right here, I forgot. Oh, I'm getting a little, this one has little pens, little needles in it. I just forgot. It just went away. I'm talking too fast. And so this is also a good healing crystal. This is a quartz healing crystal. And I'm going to forget it. And I'm going to make myself look silly. Rutilated crystal. Probably pronounced that wrong. And so again, I can either hold this in my hand and ask for healing, or I can lay this on my solar plexus and I can lay down. If I'm sitting up, I hold it in my hand, and you'll be surprised at how much you can heal from these crystals. You just have to ask the crystal to come and give you healing. What is it there for? The crystal will show you what it's there for. You can also take a crystal and you can ask, hi Janet, how you doing? Welcome. You can also ask a crystal. You can also ask a crystal what you want to use it for. Maybe you don't want to use this crystal for healing. Maybe you want to use this crystal for psychic work, or you want to use this when you use your tarot cards, or you want to use this maybe, I don't know, to find out some information, maybe about somebody or someone, to yourself. But we're talking about healing today. That's a different story. Use this crystal. You can even put it in your bedroom. This is a good crystal to put in the bedroom. It's okay in the daytime in the bedroom. But like I said, again, quartz crystals don't belong in the bedroom because they're like antennas. And at night when you're sleeping, it's like opening up your doors and all your windows for anything and all the good spirits and all the good energies to float around and keep you up all night long. And if you want to have a good sleep, you don't want this to happen. We're going to talk about real fast wands. Now, you don't have to have a professional. Yes, Jan, it looks like similar to a smoky quartz. This is a smoky quartz. It is. It's a smoky quartz. It's a rutilated crystal. It has those little gold pen needles in it. So I use this crystal usually if I have back pains. I hold this crystal and I sit and allow it to warm my body. It gets really hot it gets really hot, or I'll lay down and I'll lay on my back and I'll put this on my back if I have back pains. I do have back pains sometime. We can talk about different type of crystal now. If we want to, you can still use the same. Yes, rose crystals are okay to use in the bedroom. But I still wouldn't put a rose crystal, a big one, in the bedroom. Now, if you have a little tiny stone like this, you can put it in the bedroom. It'll soften the energy. Rose crystal, they say that it's for love and stuff like this, but it's also good for headaches. You can take a rose crystal and put it here on your third eye, on your crown chakra, and meditate with it, and it will alleviate some of the pain with your head. It won't actually maybe take it away, because if you have a real bad headache and it stays for a couple of days, go to the doctor. Always go to the doctor. Don't just think, oh, crystal's going to take everything away. If you have something really wrong with you, go get medical treatment first and make sure that you're okay. So this is another crystal here. This is a crystal that I use. It's a small crystal. It has amethyst at the end. It's for healing. Now, I can use this also for healing. It's a big crystal. It has a point on this side, and on this side right here, it's broken off. So I can use this for myself. What best crystal to use? Hi, Sharon. What best crystal to use when you're very sensitive? Oh, you can use all the crystals actually when you're sensitive. If you're very sensitive, I would say be careful with moldavite, and I will be very cautious with azurite. Because if you're very sensitive, like I said, you're going to walk around like an antenna. You're going to walk around like an antenna. You will pick up everyone's energies. Everyone you walk past, you would just pick them up. And most of us do anyway. But if you're very sensitive, yes, I would be very cautious with azurite, moldavite. I wouldn't wear it all the time. I have a little tiny piece here, moldavite on, but I only have it on for right now. I don't sleep with moldavite, because it's just a very powerful crystal, and I don't want all of my crown chakra, and I don't want everything open all the time, even though they say you can close down. But I think if you're very sensitive, you can try to close all day long. And if you're very sensitive, you're just born like this, so there's nothing you can do about it. Some people are born very sensitive. Some people are born not so very sensitive. So you can use a crystal like this for healing. Now, what I do with this crystal right here, you can take this crystal. I draw in the energy again from around me, around my biofield. I can take this crystal. It's almost like losing a selenite wand, but I use this crystal right here, and I just hold it in my hand. And what I do is I go up, starting from the top of my crown chakra, and I go around all the way down to the feet, and back up again, around my back, around my sides. And what I'm doing is I'm cleansing my biofield. I know some people might have different opinions about it, but again, I'm only sharing what I've been doing for all these years and how it works. I'm clearing the biofilm, my biofilm, with this crystal. So you can use this also with a client and use it as a wand. You can use it as a wand as well. The crystal gets very hot. Now, if I want to sit and meditate with this crystal, I will most likely hold it like this, and I'll just sit or lay down, and then the crystal gets so hot I can feel all the energies, the chi, the prana going through my arms, and it gets very hot. Now, if I lay with the crystal like this in the bed, if I want to lay down to a meditation, if I usually still will lay with it at the solar plexus. Everything starts at solar plexus. Now, if I point the crystal, the point upwards, that means that the crystal is going to concentrate on my solar plexus, my heart chakra, my throat chakra, my third eye chakra, my crown chakra. The energy is going to go up, because all crystals with points, they direct the energy. Now, if you have a round crystal, do I have one here? I have a labradorite crystal here. Now, this one here, the energy will expand. That means it expands out everywhere. Crystal like this with a point on it, it's going to go up. So if I want to activate or to raise my vibrations in all of the chakras that are above my solar plexus, I'm going to lay with the crystal on my belly, on my solar plexus, and I'm going to lay with the crystal pointing upwards. That means the crystal is going to concentrate on this area. Now, if there's something that's below my solar plexus area that needs to be healed from inside, maybe you have numb foot, or maybe my leg or my knee is hurting, I'm going to point the crystal down. And I will do the same thing if I used a golden healer crystal, or if I use a point crystal. This point is going to go up. It's going to concentrate on everything that's bothering me, or if I have a discomfort from the solar plexus up. And if I'm dealing with any type of inside healing, and anything from the waist down, I'm going to point the crystal from my solar plexus, from my navel area, downwards. I'm going to go downwards. It's going to go down. That means this energy is going to go downwards with the healing, and it's going to go. Do pyramid crystals do that too? Yes, it does. Now, if you use a pyramid crystal, it does the same thing. If you have I'm assuming you're speaking of a pyramid crystal like this, and you're going to lay it flat out. That energy is going to expand out. It's going to go upwards, and it's going to expand out. Okay, I'm going to get to that in a few minutes, because you can put a pyramid crystal under your bed and make the vibrations rise a lot. Now, if I'm going with anything around my sides, let's say, the sides are aching or muscles aching around the side area, I will point the crystal either from the solar plexus, from the belly button, to the side that is hurting. That's what I'll do. I would point it from the side that needs the healing. Now, if you have a double pointed crystal, it's going to go on both sides. For me, everything starts and ends at the solar plexus. That's in the middle. So it goes up for anything I need to activate and heal, going up, go down, and sideways. And that's how you use a crystal. And you can do the same if you're laying down on your bed. If you have someone that if you have a spouse or partner that can lay down and put the crystal on your back for you, or you can put it in by yourself. You can reach behind there and put it behind your back, in the middle of your back, where the solar plexus meets in the middle of the back, or you can use it and put it on the front. And so we also have obsidian. So for me, any dark color crystals will always lower the vibrations. This was my partner brought me this from Mexico. They lower the vibrations. Even though they're high vibrational crystals, they will bring you down into grounding. Like we have here this piece of malachite. I don't do anything with malachite really. I guess it was somebody gave it to us, I guess, for a gift, like an ashtray, when I used to smoke long time ago. So it just sits around. We never put any ashes in it. They will bring you down. The vibrations will come down, which is also healing, because we know that most vibrations, most bacteria in your gut area, in your intestines area, usually live from 50 to 60 hertz. So a darker vibrational crystal will go there, and it will go in that area. This might be too heavy for you to lay on your stomach, but you can hold it in your hand and it can still heal. If you want to put it on your stomach, you can put it in your stomach, and you can put this also in your bedroom, and it will heal you during the night. Hi, thank you, Janine. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff all these years and years of doing stuff. Hi, Pearl, how you doing? So I'm going to get down to something that most of us do, and that is, some of us use grids. I do use grids. I use grids for healing with clients, and I use them on myself. I'm going to show you a way that I use the grids on myself. Now, some people, I'm not sure how they do it in Reiki or other stuff, because I've really only seen this on Facebook or on YouTube, the way they do it. But I'm only going to share with you the way I do it. Now, if I'm sitting with the grid and I'm going to create, oh, hi, Linnae, sounds French. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it right. Linus, nice to meet you. I use grids, but I don't use them on the tables. I use them in my husband. I try and find. Yes. and try to get in the ground. Yeah, get in the ground. But you have so many spirits around you, Janine, in your house. He probably not ever going to ground with all the energy around you. So when I use grids, I use them. They're a very simple way to use the grids, to use them with crystals or stones or specimens. The easiest way for me is, Janine, I'm trying not to joke and telling you jokes. I know I tell too many jokes. I'm so goofy. To sit in a chair. The easiest way first is to sit in a chair. And what you do is you build your own grid. You don't have to anything specific. You just have to make sure, for me, that the crystals are at least 3 inches apart. That's how I make my grids. I don't have any specific, UFO symbols or anything like this, or any indigenous symbols. I just think whatever's in my head is in my head at that moment that I'm feeling for that symbol or for that grid. Usually I just use them and put them around in a circle. I would put them around a circle on my chair. So let's say I'm sitting in a chair. I will put a grid. I will put crystals, usually in this type of form. So I have a crystal here, crystal here, crystal here, and a crystal here. So it's like a square, tilted square. And I will put them under my chair. I will put them under my chair and sit in my chair and allow the crystals to raise the energies under my chair. That's a very easy way to raise your vibrations. It's a very easy way to go into a deeper state of trance as well. You can go into a very deep state of trance with crystals. I do it all the time. I've taught many people to do it before. So you can use your tools. Like I said before, everything in our body is a tool. My hand's a tool. If I don't have my hands a tool, then I'm really screwed over. I don't have it. It's a tool. I have to use it to eat. I have to use it to survive. So do not think that you cannot use anything that you feel a need to use. You can even use a plant as a tool to heal. And you take this grid that you make and you sit in the chair. Make sure you're in a quiet place that no one's around. And you sit and you go into prayer and meditation. And you just sit and close your eyes. And the crystals will do the rest. They will do the rest. Now, if you decide to expand this and make one small grid under your chair and one outside of your chair, one in front of your feet, place another 2 on the side of you and another one in the back, what you're doing is you're expanding the energy. And all you do is sit. You sit and you close your eyes and the crystals will take you on a trip. Don't know where they're going to take you. Depends on where they're going to take you with the crystals. Everyone goes on their own trip. But it will take you on the trip. And you can do the same thing if you decide that you want, because some people like to lay in the bed and meditate. Some people don't like to sit up and meditate. Some people like to lay in the bed and meditate. You can do the same with the crystals. If you use azurite and quartz and regular quartz as a grid, and if you add moldavite to it, but you don't have to. Just alone azurite crystal will raise the vibrations. So if you use it under a bed, after you finish the meditation, take the azurite, like I said, out of the bed. Now, another thing you could do is, if you're into deep trance, where you really want to go really deep into your own healing, you can purchase one of those little pop-up tents. I forgot what they're called. Those little pop-up tents, you can get them on Amazon. Those little pop-up changer tents that you can get where you change your clothes. I know Janine's face. And you can put one of those up in your room, so you can take them back down. They're portable. Put a chair inside and put the crystals under the chair in the tent. Doesn't matter if you put them in your own symbol. Put the crystals in there and sit in there and meditate. And you will feel, if you work with the spirit world, I say where you work with this, if you want to work with the spirit world to heal, and I mean by this calling in your ancestors, because I always call in my ancestors first when I come to heal, because they're the first ones to come to heal. I don't need them waiting at the pearly gates for me when I croak over. They help me now while I'm still on earth. That's just my opinion. I mean, they're not gonna wait till I croak over just to meet me. I think they can help me now while I'm here, since I was family. And I call on them to heal, or you can call on your spirit team. If you put the crystals in and you use a piece of azurite, you can also use only one piece of azurite. What crystals do you use in your what crystal do you use for your chakra crystal grids? I use I don't really do chakra crystal grids. What I do is I sit for the spirit world to come and heal me. That's basically what I do. I use azurite, however you want to call it. I would put a piece of this on in my grid. This piece is always a part of my grid. And I would put this on my grid, and I always use a piece of golden healer. You don't have to have a large golden healer. You can have a little small piece of golden healer. I will use a piece of golden healer. Now, if I want my ancestors or my spirit team, because we all have, I'm quite sure most of us here all work in the spiritual communities, I will add a piece of spirit quartz or cactus quartz to the grid. That's all I use. Are those three crystals. Now you can take a piece of azurite and just put a piece of it, and you don't really have a grid, and sit with it, and you will heal. You will feel the healing. But like I said before, when you connect with the crystal, you have to ask the crystal what it wants to show you. And you have to sometimes give the crystal also an assignment. Say, okay, I'm going to use you for this, or I want to use you for when this is hurting, or I'm going to use you. I would like to use you. That sounds horrible. I would like to use your services, I say, for, to help me with my pains in my back, or emotional support, or physical support, or spiritual support. Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm using the crystals, but yeah, they're worker bees. If you want to put it that way, they're worker bees. Yeah, it sounds really hard. Yeah, I'm using them. Yeah, well, yeah. I'm using the crystals. I'm using their energies. That's what I'm doing. But I'm using them in a good way, so I'm really nice to the crystals. That's what I use. So that's all that you really need. Now, if you use a grid, the strongest, what you would feel, I would say if you get a little pop-up tent. And some people will say, oh, that's going towards physical mediumship, which I do. But I think, and I feel, do I keep freezing? And am I still freezing? Sharon said I was freezing. That's pretty good here. Can everyone see me? Did I freeze? Can everyone still see me? Hear me? Okay. I think Sharon said, Pearl said no. You're back on. Oh, wow. I have a really strong internet here. I don't know why I'm freezing. Probably because I have all these crystals here on my table. I have a lot of crystals right now on my table. What was I saying? Yeah, you can use the crystals. But like I said, if you want to get a little closer to I would say the physical side of healing. I'm going to put it that way without going any further. The physical side of feeling, your spirit guides or your spirit team that will come and actually heal you. I would say get a small pop-up tent. It costs like 30 euro. I think I paid 30 euro, 20 euro, something like this. It was really cheap when it was not expensive. A really small one, and just I could sit in, and I just put the crystals in there, and I pray, and I ask my spirit guides and my ancestors to come, and you will, hi June, how you doing? And you will feel the spirits come in and heal you. I've used it many times on my clients as well. And I let them know that if you feel, don't come running out the tent, don't come running out, trip over something and fall. They're going to come. You're going to feel them. You're going to feel them. I've also used the tent with the crystals as well. And I've had, people come in for healing, and they actually experience a past life regression on their own. Yeah, Sandy, thanks. It's called a pop-up tent. Thank you. Or change room. Thank you. And the crystals would take them. The crystals would take them back. It would raise their vibration to the point that the spirit guides will come and take them back down into a past life regression on their own. So I didn't do anything. I just sat there and held the power and allowed the crystals to connect with the spirit world. So you can use that. I would say, if you don't really have to be spiritually connected or high, we're all mediums. I feel that we're all mediums. Doesn't matter what we do, we're all mediums. We're in between giving information for someone, for something. We're all mediums. We're all connected to the universe. And so if you use those grids like that, you can just put them under your chair and just sit. Just sit. You can sit in the daytime, you can sit in the afternoon time, or you can sit in the nighttime, in the dark. And allow the crystals to just raise your vibrations. They are very high vibrational crystals. You don't need tons and tons and tons of crystals. Just basic crystal. You don't have to use the crystals. I will take a picture and show and post them on my page. You don't have to use the crystals that I use. But I would say azurite is a very high-powered crystal. I would say for anyone that's working with healing, self-healing, or healing others, or just spiritual work, trance, psychic work, clairvoyance, any type of work like this, get a piece of azurite. Like I said, if you have animals at home, there's toxic, so make sure the cat is not laying on it, the dog is not around it, because and don't get this crystal wet, because it gives off sulfur toxins in the room. Can't smell it, but it gives it off. And I used a long time ago spraying my crystals with little water, and then sometimes I'd become dizzy. I thought I was maybe vibrations was getting higher. I was probably just intoxicating myself in the room. So that's what I was doing with the crystal. Actually, yeah. So that's a good crystal. You don't have to pay that much money for them. You do not. Do you not add the small singing points to your grids? Singing points. What is singing point? I don't know what a singing point is. You mean you mean the point? You mean the point of the grid? You mean the point of the crystal? Is that what you're talking about, Sharon? I'll wait and see if she asks me. Oh, I think she wants to know if I use these type of crystals in my grid. Yes, I do use these type of crystals in my grid. If I use a crystal, I'm thinking she's talking about this. If I use a crystal like this in my grid, it's not laying down. It's standing up. It's standing up because the energy, like I said, is going to go up from the floor. It's going to go up from the floor. And you connect. Now, another way to connect with yourself with healing, if you put crystals under your chair, the small tiny quartz points. Yes, you can use this also on your grid. You can use anything on your grid that you want, because the crystals are going to work with you for your healing. I can tell you what I use, but maybe you have other crystals that you want to use. You have to talk with the crystal. Like I said before, I carry the crystals around with me for 3 days. I sleep the crystal. I sleep with the crystal. It goes with me at the dinner table. It goes with me when I'm watching TV. It goes with me to work. It goes with me in my car. It becomes my friend, my best friend. And this crystal will read me. This crystal knows more about me than I know about myself. They're very intelligent beings, and they know a lot. It's, we have quartz in our computers. They know a lot. You can also take a crystal like this. If you are a very sensitive person and you're starting out with soul readings or with psychic readings for someone, which I told a lot of people before, you can just have someone hold a little tiny crystal like this. Just have them hold it for a couple of seconds. Just have them hold it for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes in their hand, and then ask them to give it back to you. And then you take the crystal in your hand, you breathe in a couple of times, and ask the crystal to open up and tell you about that person. If something's wrong with them, if they're having body aches, if they're having thoughts, the crystal will tell you. It's like these are like little spies. Not that I go around telling people to hold my crystals, but these crystals right here, you can have someone hold them. They're really tiny, and then you can take them back for them. It's almost like scrying, I guess. And the crystal will let you know exactly where the person's hurting, where the person's aching, or if they have any body aches or anything. Or if you can also use these also for, you can also use them for psychic readings. You can just take the crystal and give somebody a psychic reading. If you're using your tarot cards or your oracle cards, I use a lot of tarot oracle cards, but using the Cells 14, don't really need them, but I love them because I love the colors and the pictures on them. And when you use crystals like this, it just widens everything. It just makes expands everything with the crystal. So that's what you use the crystals for. So using a grid for the crystals, you don't have to use a special grid. You can create your own grid, and it's all about self-healing. If you have any medical conditions, of course, you have to go to the doctor. You know, if your leg's about to fall off, you know, you can't put a crystal there and, you know, it's not going to get better. Go to the doctor. But the crystals, they will open you up. And it's not just about physical healing, but it's about just emotional healing or just wanting to know something about yourself. And the crystals will show you, Lena, what the crystal you're holding. You mean this right here? This tiny one right here? This is a scepter crystal. Oops, sorry. This is a really tiny little crystal. Crystals are like, I would say, like the FBI. They're like the FBI, really, if you really, you know, think about it. They're like the FBI, really. A little quartz crystal, they can open you up. You can take it and you can wear it in a little locket, maybe around your neck if you want to, put it in your pocket, and try not to lose it. Token object reading or using crystals for psychometry. Yes, you can use them for psychometry. These little things right here, the little rascals right here, they are strong. Very, very strong crystals. Very, very strong. Yeah, the FBI, they probably already zoomed in on me already. That's why my internet's cutting off. They're probably already saying, yeah, what I'm doing. So you can just get a crystal like this. You also can get, if you want to, a very tiny piece of azurite. You don't even have to have a big piece of azurite. You can get a little tiny piece of azurite like this. You get a little tiny piece of azurite like this and hold it in your hand, and it'll do the same. You can take this little piece of azurite right here and put it on your third eye, on your forehead, and it'll do the same thing. It will do the same thing with the crystals. I don't know what time it is. I don't want to hold you all up too long, but I'm going to talk about the crystals again. But I just wanted you to, you all to see how you can use the crystals just to heal, just basic healing yourself, basic healing. And I just wanted to, you know, give caution about using the azurite because it's a very powerful crystal, and a lot of people do use it, and they wonder why they emotionally crashed. And it's a very high spirit crystal, and it will open up your it will open and expand your energy. It's powerful. It's powerful. It really is powerful. And you will notice sometimes if you have it something like this in your dining room or living room on maybe a table, you might even see little lights flickering around in the room. Azurite, it's very powerful. You can use it also to meditate and travel through dimensions. You can do that also with crystals. So I don't want to hold you up. I just want to talk to you about my crystals that I use. They're very basic ones. You don't need a ton of crystals, just a couple of crystals. You can find the crystals that you want to use. Do you know about the hair Yes, I do. I have a couple of them in the other room. I use them again for healing. I use them also, I use them for healing, and I also use the Herkimer crystals if I want to know a certain herb or a certain tea that I should drink. This is only from my experiences. The Herkimer diamond crystal will show me exactly what I need to do. The Herkimer diamond crystal is also a very powerful crystal, just like the quartz crystal, and it will also show you what you need to do. So you can actually take any crystal and you can sit down with it and ask a question to the crystal, and it will tell you. If you have anything that you're deeply worried about, ask your crystal. They're your friends. And I would say they're probably more honest than most of us humans. I'm just saying it like it is. They will tell you. They will give you signs. They will show you symbols. They will talk to you. And just be kind and love your crystals. I talk to my crystals every day. I greet them every day. And I have total respect for them. And they can heal you. They can heal you. Yeah, Janine. Yes, you can wear your Herkimer crystal every day. Yes, you can wear it. It's a really healing crystal, but then again, you got to remember it's an antenna. It's an antenna, and I'm quite sure you're picking up on people's energies and their thoughts and stuff. And you can do that with Herkimer. It's a very high crystal too, quartz. Any kind of quartz. If you're wearing it, yeah, you're picking up on people's energies. So I'm gonna leave you all now, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Lena. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Sandy. And I can't see everybody's names because I'm on my phone. What's your favorite crystal that I wear every day? My crystal that I wear, I have a little piece of azurite here that I wear during the daytime. It depends because I work in the financial, so I don't work as a spiritual healer or something during the day. I work in a regular finance company during the day, and at nighttime is when I work on the weekends. I work with people, and what I mean by spiritual healer is, I did take a whole year course in Germany with someone named Jesus. When I say healer is just meaning that I'm helping the people by sharing with them knowledge how to heal themselves. Because at the end of the day, we all have the power to heal ourselves. So I'm just guiding the person and showing them techniques. Because at the end of the day, I feel there's a higher power that is in charge of healing yourself. And that's very important. That's very important to know. So I'm a healer means I give techniques and I give ways that people can heal. And it's up to them to do it. And maybe they might change over and do it some different way. But that's all that a healer. I'm not, putting anything out of my hands. Even though I can do this trance healing when I do trance healing, and I do have guides that come through and speak and do trance healing. But at the end of the day, you're always going to heal yourself. You're going to wake up in the morning, you're going to heal yourself. So try a piece of golden healer in your bedroom at nighttime and look and see the difference when you wake up in the morning. Doesn't matter what type of mood you're in, you're going to wake up in a good mood with golden healer. Don't have it be a big one. Get a small one, put it in the window, and when the sun shines through, it will vibrate in the whole room. And you will see the difference just to wake up. That's a good feeling, a good crystal to wake up to. So I'm not going to keep you all anymore. I know it's the weekend and tomorrow is a holiday for us in Europe. And I wish everybody a wonderful holiday. Even though I live in Europe, I work for the States. So I'm working tomorrow, but I work with happiness. And if you have any questions about any crystals that I talked about, stones, you can just put a message on my page or send me a message and I will answer you. And next week, I'm going to talk about singing bowls and Tibetan bowls and how to use those on yourself for healing. They're really simple. What we're doing with the bowls is we're going to learn. I'm going to show you how ways you can use the bowls to put the vibrations in your body because we're made of water. And that's where all the frequencies travel. You have to remember this. We're made mostly of water. And all these frequencies that we come in contact with the crystals and stones, they're penetrating through our skin and they're going in our body. So they are it's just a bunch of drugstore right here. They can do a lot of healing on many different levels. So I'll talk about Tibetan bowls next week. And then the fourth week, we're going to talk about the tuning forks. And you only need a couple of tuning forks if you're interested in them. And there's also putting vibrations and putting frequencies into your body to help you heal. So I wish you all a lovely, lovely Sunday and a wonderful week. And just get your crystals, become acquainted with them and their love. talk to them, speak with them, ask them what they want from you, ask them what they want to show you, and don't be afraid or ashamed to use your tools. There are tools, and remember, we are also tools. And I thank you all. I'm sending you a lot of blessings, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.